I tell you what else is being promoted as a help to people, and that's medicinal cannabis, which was legalised in this country in 2016. But shock, surprise, it's being prescribed at an alarming rate. The explosion of prescriptions for legalised medicinal cannabis for things like insomnia, anxiety and chronic pain is just quite shocking. There's data from the Australian Health Practitioner Regulation Agency that found 8 doctors had each issued 10,000 prescriptions for medicinal cannabis in just 6 months. One doctor had issued 17,000 prescriptions. That's a prescription every 4 minutes, every working day for medicinal cannabis. If you think that's shocking, it gets worse. One practitioner had issued prescriptions for 959,000 cannabis products in just 1 year. A nurse issued 31,000 prescriptions in 12 months, and on it goes. Freya, I understand that some people have been really helped by medicinal cannabis. There's many anecdotal stories from people saying, look, this really made a massive difference. I was in chronic pain. It really helped me. But there are a lot of people accessing this now legal drug. You have to start to ask, is this being dispensed like lollies to people who really it's less about chronic pain that can't be treated any other way, and it's a way for people who want to access cannabis to do just that?
Well, some people may be getting medicinal benefits from this scheme. I suspect others may be getting financial benefits from these schemes. I mean, where do you find this many people to prescribe that much cannabis to? One pharmacist is prescribing over 2,600 doses a day. I can't imagine that they're seeing 2,600 people a day. That would be physically impossible, yet they're prescribing all of this. So it does make you wonder what's going on here. But my deeper question is, how are there no restrictions around the number of prescriptions you can order? Because I presume this stuff is all tracked, and if someone is prescribing thousands of doses of cannabis per day, surely that should raise some alarm bells, Kel.
Oh, yes, it should. And there is a dosage issue involved here. When it was first proposed, I interviewed on radio a psychiatrist who'd worked with legalised cannabis in New Zealand, and he was advocating it here. And I said, do people get high on medicinal cannabis? And he said they shouldn't. If you get the right dose, it should have a calming effect, it should treat seizures or whatever the problem is, but you should not get high. Now, my worry is the people who are prescribing it aren't using the right... There are different types, by the way. There are some types of medicinal cannabis which feature CBD and others which feature THC. THC is the one that can get you high, but not if the dosage is right. CBD almost never will. So you almost need to say, OK, we're going to license particular doctors and they will have to do training. They will have to be specialists in medicinal cannabis so they understand appropriate dosages for each individual person. If they're doing a script every 4 minutes, they're not looking at the patient. They're not looking at what
part of the problem here, Kelly, is telehealth, right? So a lot of medicinal cannabis is being prescribed over the phone by a medical practitioner that the client has never met personally, a phone call that lasts a matter of minutes. So how could you possibly assess
you don't even know things like their
suitability
body weight and that kind of thing, which will help you make decisions about the correct dosage. So it's obviously been done in the wrong way, and there must be a medical way and a legal way to say, OK, do a specialist training thing, it's weekend training and you learn how to do the dosage, and those people, and only those people, are allowed to prescribe. And you've got to go there. You can't do it on the telephone. You're right.
Yeah. The thin edge of the wedge, of course, with this, and we've seen members of the Cannabis Party elected to state governments. We've got the Greens pushing continually for the legalisation of cannabis just generally to the community. And this will be seen as an argument in favour of that, with the prevalence of medicinal cannabis. So one thing will lead to the other.
Except in California, where they've had cannabis freely available as a recreational drug for a long time, the increase in paranoia has been enormous. It does cause psychiatric problems. So we can't go down that route. We have to make sure that's blocked off.